welcome back to my channel. Don't forget, if you like bookish content, to subscribe and stick around. This week we are reading YA fantasy for the entirety of the week, and I could not be more excited. It's definitely a genre that I've been loving recently, and we're actually starting off with Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief by Rick Riordan. So stick around, we have some really good books this week. I'm actually filming this right now post video, so let's go back in time to Sophie starting this one. I just got home and I wanted to update you guys because as you saw, I was sat in Waterstone's cafe. I was reading Living My Best Life, and I'm now actually on page 180 of Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief. I'm really enjoying it. Obviously it's extremely YA. I feel like it's definitely different. I've just finished reading Onyx Storm, so I feel like the jump from that adulty fantasy to this is quite large, but it's so easy to read, and I've actually seen this movie, so I know what happens. So I feel like that's why I'm flying through it, and I just want to get through this one so I can continue to read the rest of the series that I know nothing about. The first thing that shocked me was how young Percy is in the book. I feel like it doesn't really come across that way in the movies, and he's actually 12 years old, which I find crazy, the amount of stuff that he goes through and the changes. If you don't know, Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief is a story about a boy named Percy, obviously, and he has been like troubled growing up. He's always been like naughty, got into trouble. He's been extremely dyslexic, and he soon learns that these people are after him, these magical evil creatures. He is kind of forced, there's no other option for him but to go to this summer camp, where he then learns that he is the son of Poseidon, one of the Greek gods. And I just love the premise. I've always enjoyed learning about Greek mythology, and this book just is set in that kind of vibe, and it's giving such good easy read vibes. This series is so loved, and I'm really glad that I'm enjoying it and honestly smashing through the first book. I've obviously read half of it this evening, and it's just, I'm flying through it, and I just wanted to update you guys on those thoughts. I love the side characters as well, and since the movies, like, I know that I've always loved Annabeth's character. She is the daughter of Athena, which is the god of war, I'm pretty sure. And yeah, I've always liked her, and I really like her in the books as well. And it's crazy the differences already, like that scene with Medusa in the book. It's so different to how it comes across in the film. I feel like I like the way that it's been set up more in the book than in the film. It kind of gives more of that mystery vibe, but it's very fast paced. Like, we are kind of obviously already halfway through the journey, and I feel like it just happens so quickly, so it's really easy to keep you captivated and just keep you invested in the story. So I'm about to have a shower and then maybe pick some more up this evening or read the rest tomorrow, we shall see. I've just actually finished Percy Jackson and the Olympians, so I just wanted to come on and give my overall thoughts of the book. I'm not sure rating wise what I want to give it. I can't believe as well how different the book is to the movie. Like, they change so much in the movie, and I definitely prefer the way things were laid out within the book as well. Like, the plot twist at the end was so different. Obviously it was the same plot twist, but it was just portrayed in such a different way, and it's just crazy how they adapt it and change things. Obviously, maybe I feel like they kind of made the movies appeal to a slightly older audience, I believe. I thoroughly have enjoyed this. I think I'm going to settle on a 3.75 stars for it, just because it didn't blow me away, but at the same time I also know the story really well because I have seen the movie a bunch of times, and I am excited for the rest of the series. I'm probably going to stop reading now for tonight, and I think we'll pick my next book together tomorrow when I pick up the camera next. As you have seen, I have now started Keeper of the Lost Cities by Shannon Messenger, and I'm going to be honest with you, I'm already on chapter 24, page 231, and honestly that's the most that I've read in a day in quite a long time. So as you can probably tell, I'm loving the story so far. A little bit of background in this: we are following Sophie Foster. She's always felt a little bit out of place in her life, and when she was 5 she suddenly realised that she was able to hear everyone's thoughts. So as you can imagine, that's quite traumatic, trying to shut everything out like that. Then I believe she is now 13, so she bumps into this boy called Fitz and she realises she cannot read his mind. So it turns out that he is also a telepath like her. She is an elf, and she is actually from this like elf realm kingdom where she then is going to go and travel and start a magical school and learn how to use her powers. If that isn't convincing you to pick up this book, then I don't know what will, because it's so good so far. It's really giving Harry Potter, and that is exactly the vibes I wanted from it. I am loving it, and even though she is like 12, 13, it doesn't feel like that young. I'm feeling like it's entertaining, I'm enjoying the characters, getting to know everybody. That's the update so far. Obviously not too much has happened. She's kind of just becoming accustomed to the school, learning things. She obviously has a few people that are out to get her because she's this like prodigy that's come in. But yeah, overall thoughts so far, loving it, and I'm surprised but also not, because I've heard such hype about it as well. I think I'm gonna make a coffee and then we can chill, sit down, maybe finish this book today. Obviously, who knows? I'm hoping like action is gonna start happening, but it's the first book in a very, really long series, so this might just be like the world building book, but we will see. Just so many cool things in this book. Like, you know the phrase put your thinking caps on when you're trying to study or brainstorm? They actually have thinking caps that they put on their head to dull like telepathic abilities during exam season. It's just so good, this world. Oh my word, it just feels so real as well. Like, it's not too extra, it's just really well written, and I really like the characters. I'm loving Dex, who is one of Sophie's first friends that she's made at the school as well. He is just so bubbly and funny, and I think also Keith is like Keefe, Keith. I'm not sure how you pronounce that name, but he's super funny as well. And yeah, obviously Fitz, I really like him, but we don't really see much of him at the moment because he's a little bit older. So I'm hoping as the story progresses, we'll get more scenes with him in as well. Okay, so I had about 50 pages left of Keeper of the Lost Cities this morning. So I've sat and I've finished it. And guys, this story is so good. I think it's a 5 stars. Like, the emotions that it made me feel, like, this is what I want a YA fantasy to make me feel like. It didn't feel young to me. It was just so easy to read and take in the world. I love every single character, if I'm being completely honest. Our main character Sophie, she is so cool, she's such a badass. Like, it makes me laugh though when our main characters obviously have no idea about this elfin world, and then they just go there and they're just like taking it in their stride. I would be freaking out, and this girl just takes it all in. I feel like the fact that she's kind of felt like she's never belonged in the human world probably helped her adjust to being in like the elf realm. But it's so good. I think my favorite character so far is like obviously Sophie, but like boy wise I think Fitz and Dex. Dex is so cute, like he's like her little best friend side buddy. Kind of feel like he's in love with her though, but I'm sure we'll find out eventually what happens and who she's gonna end up with, if that even happens. I don't even know if there is a romance. And also Keith, he's so funny and he comes across as like this like bully type, but I feel like he means really well and we're going to see a lot of growth from him as well. It's just so sweet. And honestly, I was going to read Cinder, which is the first book in the Lunar Chronicles, next in this video, but I will get to it towards the end of the week. But honestly, I need to pick up the second book of this series straight away, and this is Keeper of the Lost City, so it's Exile, the second book. I think the cover is so stunning as well. If that's not giving all the vibes that you want, then I don't know what is, hun. I'm excited. This one is a bit longer, I think. Okay, so this one is 568 pages. Is it more than this one? Yeah, so it's like 80 pages longer, but that's fine because honestly I flew through this one because I feel like in YA books as well the writing is in slightly larger print, so it's quite easy to read fast as well. I'm excited for what this story has to hold. I've got some work to do, but I can pick up this later on and I'll bring you guys along with me. So I'm now on page 200 of Exile, the second book in the Keeper of the Lost City series, and honestly my thoughts have not changed. I am obsessed with this world, this story. It's just everything that I want, and there's like an underlying darkness seeping through, and I feel like we're going to get to the bottom of it in this book. I've been trying to guess who, or like multiple people, like who could be a part of this Black Swan and like everything, like the conspiracy theories in the elf world. It is just a lot going into it, a lot going on, and it's never boring. Like even when they're going to class, they're in their magic lessons, it's just never boring. We're always getting fed information. Sophie is getting like flashback thoughts from the past. It is so entertaining. I've got literally a free evening, so I do want to try and finish this today so I can start Cinder tomorrow, as I'll probably be finishing this vlog tomorrow night. So I've probably got like 360 pages to read today, which is doable. It's doable. We'll see. If I don't do it, I don't do it. I have got work tomorrow, so I can read there, but I would like to finish it because I always find when I finish a book quickly I enjoy it more because I don't have to leave the world and go back to my boring old life. I'm just in the car because I'm at work. Working hard obviously, and I didn't actually end up finishing Exile last night, so I've gotten to page... I actually read so much and I was quite proud of myself really. I think finishing the book was a really hard goal for me to have because there was a lot of pages left. So I've gotten to page 337. This is chapter 50 and I've literally got sorry, 437. I'm not sure if I said 300 or 400 then. And I've literally got like 70 or so pages, no, 120 pages left of this book. So I'm gonna sit now. I'm here for like an hour and a half, so maybe I can get it done. And yeah, my thoughts are still the same. It really is kind of building up now, like this mystery of the Black Swan and kind of if they're good or bad. I'm excited to find out who's a part of it, because it must be someone close to us in the story. Otherwise, what's the kind of point if it's just some random person coming in, if that makes sense? So I'm praying that it's going to be jaw-dropping, but we'll see. So I'm back from work now. It's a little bit later on in the day, and I ended up finishing Exile, I'd say finally, but it honestly hasn't taken me that long to get through this quite chunky book. I will say it's nearly 600 pages, and yeah, I loved every second of it. We had a really nice ending. There was a point of this that like did break my heart a little bit, but I'm glad that we ended it the way we did. And yeah, I just can't wait for the rest of the series. I am going to be leaving this here now and obviously picking up a different book, just because I want it to last longer, and sometimes it's quite overwhelming to stay in a long series book after book. Like, I don't want to get bored of it. I want to take a little break and then go back to it. I think overall ratings for this book, I'm settling on a 4.25. I'm trying to be harsher on what I give 5 stars, because I'm quite a nice rater, I will say, and I have probably given a couple 5 stars already this year. We're only in February, so I am trying to be harsher. But honestly, like, if it gives you those 5-star feelings, give it a 5 stars. Like, don't overthink it. But I'll be going on to the final book of this reading vlog, and this is going to be Cinder by Marissa Meyer, and this is the first book in the Lunar Chronicles series. And fun fact, I actually read this book when I was like 16, 17, and I just can't remember anything about it. The only thing that I remember is that it is like Disney retellings, and it's like a sci-fi feel. So like our main characters are cyborgs, which is like half human, half robot. And that's all I can remember. I think what I'll do is I'll start reading and then I'll update you guys when I'm like 100 pages in or so, and I can give you the debrief if you've not heard of this book before. Coming to you. You guys previously saw me starting Cinder and I binged it in one evening, so I've already finished the book. Sorry for no updates while I was reading, but why not just debrief when I finish the whole book, because I now have my whole complete thoughts and we can talk about it. This book is so original. Like, it's based off like Disney fairy tales. Obviously this one is kind of around Cinderella, but it does not feel like that original story. We are in a world where there are humans and cyborgs, so like half human, half robot-y metal contraptions, and they also have an enemy who lives on the moon called the Lunars. And we are following our main character Cinder, and she is a mechanic. She lives with this horrible stepmom and stepsisters, and this world is plagued with this illness that is killing people off. And we soon learn that Cinder is actually quite a key part in fighting this disease and helping save people. So we learn a lot of secrets. Cinder is very unaware of her background because she was adopted when she was younger, so she's not really sure where she came from. And it's just a really good story. I think I'm definitely settling on a 4-star because it is a reread, so I did know what was going to happen. And surprisingly, I read the book like 10 years ago maybe, and it was still in my head as I was reading. I was like, oh yeah, I know what's going to happen now. So I feel like the ratings for the rest of the series may go up as they'll be new and fresh to me. Let's talk about Prince Kai. He is so cute. He is destined for the throne. His dad is actually very sick, so he may be becoming emperor of their continent extremely soon. So this evil queen from Luna, she wants to come over and marry him, whereas he meets Cinder. And will it progress into something? Who knows, because he is unaware that she is a cyborg. She has managed to hide it from him so far. And just just a great story. It really transforms your mind and it feels like you are in this new Beijing area. It gives a very Asian feel to where they are living as well, like street markets and just the way the city is described. Marissa Meyer did a fantastic job of going into detail but not dragging those scenic parts out, and I really appreciate that because it didn't take us away from the dialogue and the overall plot. I really recommend picking this up, and honestly any of the books that I've read this week, it has been fantastic to be in a YA feel for the entire week. I just cannot believe how much I'm loving YA at the minute. I feel like it takes spice out of fantasy and it's so much better. Sometimes it adds a little bit to it, but most of the time YA hits so good, and I cannot wait to continue all these series that I started this week. I may have to do like a series where I continue series that I'm in the middle of, just because I'm in the middle of so many and I need to kind of keep track. So I may need to figure out a way to do that, maybe on my iPad or something, or yeah, like a physical piece of paper where I'm tracking stuff. But thank you so much for joining me on this week of reading. I hope you have enjoyed it as much as I have, and don't forget to like and subscribe if you want to see my face again and if you love bookish content just like I do, and I shall see you guys in the next one.